All right, welcome back in. This is going to be another Stormgate cast, and I'm Algorithmore. This is going to be another cast starring my buddy Dutchy, who is in this game going to be playing as the Blue Infernal, aka the Architect. And his opponent is going to be the Red Celestial, Friday. And it looks like Friday's already going for an interesting build, as he's gone for a Therium Purifier and is mining Therium. Um, and I don't know if I see what else do we got here. We got a Morph Core, but we don't have any other extra arrays going. So this is a Therium early build with two prisms on Therium. Very interesting choice. Although one Therium is, or one prism is heading to the mine now. The Morph Core looks like that's probably just a misrally. Nope, it wasn't. I lied. This is a creation chamber. This is a very interesting build here out of Friday. And now surged and moving out. I actually do like this build. The standard meta for Celestials is arrays are better. I think that is a little misleading. The simple math that is used to argue that overlooks some important things. For instance, you have to build power banks if you want to build arrays, but you don't have to build power banks if you want to build prisms. So I do like that players like Friday here are experimenting with more prism building. Although, what's going on here? Morph Core out into the woods, being a little bit shady, finding a nice little place to do what? Oh, normally you're going to get a Legion Hall or something plopped down there. Oh, but we get Evolution Catalyst first, and then we're going to put down the Legion Hall. So, okay. Again, I keep saying Legion Hall, but who knows? Indeed, it is a Legion Hall. And the Arc ship is an Arc station already. And I think that makes sense since we saw the Legion Hall. That he's probably going for tier 2 tech here. And yeah, we have a Seraphim out queued up in that Legion Hall. Well, we now are going to get our second array as well. A lot of power banks back here. I spent a lot of time focusing here on Friday's build because I'm finding it a little fascinating. But it looks like Dutchy he has found the Legion Hall, so that's a good scout. And where's that Seraphim? So the Seraphim is trying to take the Luminite Tower, but these fiends are being a little annoying. So interesting, very interesting. So it looks like it was maybe a quick conclave first into a ritual chamber. Do we see, those are the fiends. Where is the army here? I don't see any gaunts. Okay, I actually didn't see the play. This may have been not early gaunts. This might be early Hexen play. I wish I had been paying attention to Dutchy's play here because it looks like where these fiends came from, I think, was from using a mine on these. Here we go. Yes, okay. There, we see it in action. Okay, at least we caught him this time. He used two hexens this time, but in the first case you can do it with a single hexen. You cast two mines there, and then you as soon as you attack the units, it will trigger both mines. Let's see if we can see him setting it up again. So two mines. Once they're done, oh, it looks like a third mine. Maybe you need three mines. All in the same location because they now stack. And then you attack and boom, 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 boom. They all get triggered and all the fiends. And what he's been doing so far has been running by these fiends. We've got a Guardian Nexus up. Where are these Seraphim? The Seraphim are on the map, but they don't seem to be harassing. They seem to be a creeping force, which technically is what they're for. But they are banshees from StarCraft 2, kind of. They hit the ground, but they fly. That makes them pretty good at going in and doing some harass on workers. But maybe it's these fiends that are causing him a little trouble. see a Seraphim coming back now. There are Kree on the map now that can also help with these Fiends. But the Fiends keep doing run-bys. It looked like they're picked off a power bank. Or at least got it to cancel. As well as getting some valuable scouting information. And it's interesting to see that Friday is staying on Seraphim for now. Or at least he's up to 3. And we're starting to see mines going down defensively instead of just used as a fun creeping tool. And we have seen some gaunts added. It looks like they do have plague axes, so this is not going to be some kind of weird, pure Hexen cheese out of Dutchy. I call it cheese only because if you're doing some weird strat like that, it's got to be cheesy. But here's cool. Here's a cool side effect of the extra Hexen is you can send some skulls out. And these ones are actually just going to go capture these towers for him. Meanwhile, the Seraphim are still out on the map trying to use their abilities. I wonder if they're going to attack or just use the evolution catalyst here. They are going to attack. And that's because they do have bonuses versus creeps. Can't remember, is it bonus attack damage or extra armor? Damage reduction from creeps. Yeah, there we go. So unlike, for instance, say the scouts that have bonus damage to creep, these ones have take less damage from creeps. More mines, lots of mines here. If you're coming into my base, you're going to get mined. And now it's Hexens and Gaunts out onto the map. And it's Kree trying to retake these camps. Now, I was going to say, do they have master training? I wish they would tell us that. They don't. We got Reaper's Rush on the way. We will see when we see our first miasma. If they have it. Kree coming here for a run by. Actually, this is gonna be pretty bad for these Kree in a second here. Boom. Okay, only triggering one. Getting on top of these Gaunts that are in transit and actually killing a lot of them. And boom, a third one goes off. But none of them have actually died as a result of that. So, interesting to see there. They are trying to get all the way in, but these Gaunts are getting some free pot shots off on them, and many of them were low. So we're seeing many of them actually are getting exploded, and pretty good split here from Dutchy to keep his units from this Kree run by. So, did the mines sort of nullify that attack? No, but did they help out? Certainly. A lot of those units ended up having, were quite low on their health. Certainly helped some of these Gaunts pick them off. And it's still these 3 Seraphim, so I do like that Friday has chosen to stick with only 3 Seraphim and not try and overproduce them. I think you could maybe make a second Seraphim force if you wanted to, but they are pretty mobile. You can move around quickly. And more Kree here. Is this going to be another attempt at a Kree run-by, or... interesting. The Seraphim are just battling with the Skulls and the Fiends on this map to try and keep control. Although here's an opportunity. No. Oh, all 3 of them go down. Not taking an opportunity to check in on them meant that Friday unfortunately lost them all. And here's that Legion Hall also spotted now, and it's going to go down in the middle of the map. I mean, after those initial Seraphim, you don't really need it anymore unless you want to switch into... Oh my goodness. Wow, that's very interesting play. Tries to surround himself with the mines to protect himself from the surround. Very good split. But there's just a lot of Kree here, and they're getting on top of all these Gaunts. Gaunts are so vulnerable to the Kree. The mines have done what they can. We do hear so many exploding Kree. But what a chaotic little battle there, and it looks like all those units, for the most part, cleaned up by the Kree with a really nice flanking maneuver from Friday. managing to get him into the supply lead for the moment. And we're going to see what is he going to do with that, because this opening wasn't doing super well until that exchange. But now with that lead, can he transition out of this maybe into something else? I'd love to see some Cabals maybe added if you're going with this heavy Kree. But I'd also, you know, what did he do against the Hexen? That's an interesting choice, or interesting puzzle for him to solve. And it looks like Dutchy is gonna stick here with Hexen and Gaunt play. It does give him access to a ton of extra fiends. Okay, so the Kree's trying to activate the mines for the run by. And oh no, this, again, it's Kree versus light units. And I like how Friday is splitting his units off. A nice scan to see where the mines are. And he's rolling right in here. Huge Nightfall. Oh no, I thought that was a Nightfall infestation. It's a miasma. But we are starting to see Hexen go down here. And the Kree, they're overpowering. Another miasma goes down, but again, it looks like the Hexen falls. And these Kree murdering a bunch of imps there, and still having energy to turn around here and get on top of these Gaunts. It's amazing how they're staying alive here. Looks like that might be the tier 3. Yeah, that's the tier 3 upgrade, where dying Kree can still move. So you can roll them on top of your opponent and have them explode. Tons of mines going down, which is just in time because a whole bunch more show up. Not very good explosions for those mines. Only a couple of Kree getting caught. And now a lot of these units look like they might start going down. More Hexen going down. It's Brutes that are coming out. Finally, we're seeing Brutes added to this mixture to fight off these Kree. And Brutes are a great answer to this. And now the Kree go the other way, where there are a lot of mines. And look at how many low Kree there are as they come into this kill matrix of Fellhogs and Gaunts and this Shroud Stone. They all get taken out here. All of them. Another Shroud Stone finishes up just in time to chase a few more of these Kree away. And it's Dutchy who's, I call that a hole, but he did lose a lot of Gaunts. He did lose a lot of imps there as well. And so while he held, he is just holding. He has pulled ahead, though, in supply. Maybe that is testament to how many Kree have gone down in these run-bys and in these attempts to do damage. And the fact that we are still on Kree tech with nothing to be added here. You know, add a couple sabers. Add, as I said earlier, add some Cabal maybe. I'm not sure what else you really want to be adding in here, but you just mix that tech up a little bit. Get some Vectors even. Vectors could be a good supplementary armory to these Kree to help out with a lot of those Gaunts and Hexen. And a very nice defensive little structure here made by Dutchy. He's got now Shroud Stones defended by mines. And for an Inferno player and for Dutchy, this is a fairly turtled kind of play. I don't usually see him play this way. We do see triple Twilight Spire here. And, and the flight of the mines as they fly across the map. Scouting out and trying to capture. And now we do see our first Archangel. I do like this. This is the kind of switch that I'm talking about. It's not so much a switch as an augment. These Kree are going to do so much better if this Archangel can draw some attacks, some focus fire, but also with its Meteor Smash. Meteor Smash? Is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called. Meteor Smash. Meteor Strike, maybe? Meteor something. It's very Meteor. And they're gonna go for the background. This didn't look like that's down yet. The Archangel gets hit with a few pot shots, and Dutchy does try and split his units, but then decides to run away, and that's a huge land right in the middle, which is also going to body block a lot of these units, including the Hexen. The Hexen are unfortunately going to go down quickly. We don't see a miasma on all those units, but we do see a bunch of Spriggans come out. And there's a huge mine hit. That's the kind of mine hit you want to see. The Spriggans have taken out the Archangel, and that means these are just easy pickings. Another huge mine. Look at every single one of those units. And now we're just seeing a ton of Spriggan just having a field day with these Kree. All of these Kree going down. And these Spriggans, I think the Spriggan switch was definitely the right way for Dutchy to go. Because, well, we've been seeing Kree all game long. Now, I don't know if stopping here to creep is the right answer. Until your opponent has an opportunity to do that tech switch, I think you just swoop in and you start killing the eco. And we actually see some of these Spriggans, it looks like going down. I'm not sure if they actually went down, but see, we're already seeing Cabal, and now we see another Archangel out. Archangels do pretty good. They get to punch these Spriggies in the sky. He's going to fly away, try and preserve himself. He popped out only to die. But there he goes. But again, the Cabal are a good answer here, especially if they have their Adept training. I'm not sure if they have that yet. Again, I don't think the tooltips show me. And here's what I'm talking about. This space already well defended. This base is not quite yet, but we do see a Sovereign's Watch go down here. And interesting to split them up instead of focusing on the array. We are going to see a few of these Spriggans go down now as a result. So that was just a misclick, or maybe just a mistake by Dutchy to not target the array there. And they're flying back, and ooh, there's a whole Hexen force here. The Spriggans are trying to heal up. They need to capture the camp first, and the Argents are going to stop them from doing that. This is a nasty, nasty bunch of mines here. But it looks like Dutchy's hoping to come and put pressure on this base. Whereas it's a huge Argent ball with some Kree and Cabal in tow. And, okay, good. Evolution Catalyst, I'm like, don't fight that. Just keep moving. Even leaving the army there instead of just letting this straggler Kree come and take it, I think that's delaying the attack here. And that's, during that time, we see all these mines going down. And now this is going to push it. Now, there's a lot of Static D here, and we get another Manifest Shroud Stone there. So this is a fairly devastating set of Static D that I have to push through, but there are a lot of Argents here. We get a huge Meteor Strike on those Imps. The Imps go down, and the Argents should be able to clean up the rest of these. And what do we see from Dutchy as a response? He's going to have to kind of go for the base trade, although that's not exactly what we're at here. Not at base race, I should say. We are doing a base trade. He's going to try and take out this mining base. These surged strike nodes doing a lot of work. You can just hear them going off. And the army from Friday is on its way back, but it's not going to be able to stop this. So this base is going to go down. Now let's see what Dutchy does. Looks like he is going to try and retreat. I think he's partly going to try and lure these units through his matrix. No, actually, he's just trying to preserve his army, it looks like. Get out of there. And here comes the army. Ooh. Just dodging off. Oh, so many strikes here. More going down. And there we get a scan. Lots of mines here going off and taking out, I assume here, some of those units look like they died. And we're just getting even more mines going down here. This is a small force. Oh, this could be a really bad battle for Friday. His units haven't quite yet done it, although some of them hit the mines. We now get a scan. An effigy going down for Dutchy. There's a lot of Argents here. We're starting to see Miasma out of the Hex and on top of those Argents, and they're standing right inside of it. That's gonna cause them to turn into Fiends fairly quickly. Remember, Fiends are that's the snowball that you want to get as an Infernal player against Argents in particular, but a Celestial. Another Archangel goes down and another one is trying to fly to safety. Manages to do so, but these Argents are unfortunately facing off against just a sea of Fiends. Those Fiends get a nice surround. They reposition just a little bit so that they can take out as many of these units as possible. An Archangel does come in, gets a nice meteor strike on those Gaunts, but there's just overwhelming forces here from Dutchy. And actually, no, as the Sovereign's Watch gets called and some Kree come for reinforcement, he is forced to retreat just a wee bit. I think he is just going to regroup. There's still this Legion Hall he could pick off here. And I love the persistence. He's like, fine, I'm regrouping. I'm going to throw down some mines. You want to attack into this? Go ahead. I have noticed, I don't know if this is just from this recent patch, but there's so many more skeletons and such on the ground now. I think they mentioned something about new corpses and more consistent corpses. So loving that feature, just a little graphic feedback. Of course, that's a feature that's come from right at the beginning days of RTS, that Blizzard had a lot of those cool little extra graphical features built in and really paved the way for the kind of stuff that we expect in our games today. So I'd love to see that out of Stormgate and Frost Giant as they continue to build this game. Oh, no. They're going to run right through this. Here we go. Another one. A couple of those lead free are taking the brunt of the hits, which is good. A Miasma trying to... Yeah, it's just a zoning Miasma for now. But that is a lot of Kree, and the Kree themselves are going to be pretty damaging to this force. The Spriggan are do their best to clean them up. The Spriggan, in fact, leading the charge and trying to lure them in, but another single Kree taking the brunt of that hit. We see Miasma's going down on top of all those Argents, and they're just standing there. No, now they move forward, but they move forward into more Miasma. I'm not sure if Purify cancels all of Miasma. I think it does, actually. So we did see a Purify going down there, but unfortunately this army is just too big. We now have a 100 supply lead for Dutchy. And Friday, his days are numbered. Pardon the pun. Had to do it. And there's another Miasma going down, mostly on his own units, but that's kind of defensive. Of course, you don't friendly fire with that. More Kree rolling in, trying to clean this up, but the Spriggan above are just going to have a heyday. We now see Molten Touch. I'm not sure if it was there before, but we do see it now. And that's going to just mean extra damage from these Hellborn. There are 6 Hellborn here, and that's going to be a GG from Friday.